As a community, Rocket League loves to keep track of world record achievements. Things such as the most flipper sets, the fastest pinch, or the longest game are celebrated and then often attempted again as players strive to put their name in the record book. But this is not one of those types of videos. Today I'll be focusing on accomplishments that there aren't world records for. The type of achievements that fall into that gray area between inspiring dedication and weird obsession. The kind of stories that instead of saying wow, your first thought might be why. But whether you're impressed or not, I hope you at least enjoy this unique list of rare player achievements that are brought to you by today's impressive sponsor, Top 11. Top 11 is a free-to-play football management game available on iOS, Android, and web browsers that puts you in charge of your very own football club. From signing players to upgrading your stadium, you are in total control. And unlike Rocket League, in this game, your team actually has to listen to you as you set up tactics and train your players the way you want. Once ready, you can test your team against your friends or other managers from around the world in stunning 3D rendered matches. Top 11 is currently celebrating its 2023 release with lots of new features including 3D live match improvements, events, and giveaways, so now is the best time to start or return to the game that has already been played by over 260 million players and has an average rating of 4.6 stars out of 5. Yes, Top 11 is an entire football universe in your pocket, and you can start your journey now by using the free download link that's in the description below. And big thanks to Top 11 for sponsoring this video. Our first entry is something that should have got a lot of attention, but instead it's an achievement that was clouded by both community prejudice and some unfortunate misinformation. When Rocket League went free to play, Season 1 introduced a brand new top rank. Now if you were to ask, some might recall the first SSL as being Daniel, who would have been 13 years old at the time. His tweet at almost 2 AM East on September 23rd, 2020 showed him at the top of the ones leaderboard. But he wasn't actually the first. The truth was, almost 3 hours earlier, Speedy, Ergzef, and SO3 had actually become the world's first Supersonic legends in Rumble. Now I know some of you are thinking the same thing Daniel did. It's Rumble. But that's kind of the point of this video. Yes, Rumble SSL had a lot lower MMR requirement and may seem like a meme, but that doesn't take away from the fact that these guys were the first. In fact, Speedy and SO3's whole career is full of unique accomplishments that you probably haven't heard of because they are in a very niche part of the community. One such highlight is when they coordinated with several accounts on the leaderboard to get Johnny Boy to host a Rumble show match.
Look what somebody did to the Rumble leaderboard. How on earth have they managed that? That's incredible. Oh, I've got to tweet that. Okay, I guess I'm casting a Rumble match. Imagine the effort.
So once again, shout out to Speedy, Ergzef, and SO3. Some people might not like it, but you were and are the world's first Supersonic legends. There are 7 player stats that Psyonix tracks on their servers, but there's a reason you've probably never heard of the guy with the world record for most goals, and that's because these leaderboards really mean nothing. The top spots are almost completely occupied by players using smurfs and exploits, which is pretty obvious when you see someone with a shooting percentage of 22,000%. Probably the best example I've seen of these exploits in action was back in early 2021 when a creator named TX Chatty was in the top spot for wins, goals, MVPs, and goal shot ratio. Well, at the time I was pretty sure he was cheating at this somehow. I only recently got the whole story. Chatty told me he was paying a team of up to 30 people to run up the stats on these accounts. And he says he only did it just to see if he could, though he also found it did bring a lot of people to his channel to check out the guy that had topped all the leaderboards. Later though, most of Chatty's accounts were banned and he decided to stop the experiment. But even today, it's easy to see that a majority of the leaders on these lists are not legit. Though I do want to highlight one exception. Keeper currently holds the #1 spot on the saves leaderboard with 244,000, almost a 100k lead on the second place account. But his stats aren't really due to an exploit. Yes, I'd say it's more of a weird obsession. Keeper loves Heatseeker, and since the free-to-play update allowed the creation of private Heatseeker tournaments, he's basically done nothing else. At his peak, Keeper said he was getting over 1,000 saves a day in Heatseeker 1v1s. But this past January, his incredible climb was slow to a crawl when Psyonix patched stats out of tournaments, though I'm sure his #1 spot is going to be safe for a while. Now, while this may seem like 2 very different stories about the stats leaderboard, there ended up being a connection between these players that I didn't expect. One of the first things Keeper asked me when we started talking about the leaderboard was if I knew what happened to TX Chatty. It turns out Chatty was his inspiration to one day get to the top spot, and he never knew it was all a sham. While this stat is not tracked by the leaderboards, I can pretty much guarantee you no one has achieved as many high fives as Krillin and Goku, and that's because most of us are lucky to have one. A high five is obtained by bumping into your teammate after they score while at least one of you is above crossbar height, and Krillin and Goku have accomplished this a combined 2,300 times. Yes, after a goal, these guys seem to have the ability to find each other no matter where they are. One replay they sent me showed them getting 6 high fives in a single game. After mastering the double high five as seen in this example with their friend Oxygen, Krillin and Goku recently started queuing chaos matches in a quest to get a triple. Note, a 4-player high five is considered a triple because the game does not credit goal scorers with high fives. Once again, I have no reservations in claiming that this is footage of Goku, Krillin, Oxygen, and Poop completing the world's first triple high five, an achievement that is confirmed by the scoreboard as everyone but Goku is awarded 20 points. Well done guys, you truly are the high five gods of Rocket League. A lot of attention has been given to traders with alpha items, full striker sets, or just inventories with insane values. But you should know by now, this is not that type of video. Mr. Dr. Prof is the Burnt Sienna King of Rocket League, a name he's earned by collecting every burnt sienna painted item in the game, most in multiples, giving him 71,000 items in all. This weird obsession started one day in 2017 when he decided he wanted to be known in the community for something more than just being a middleman. And while looking at his Paragon certified BS painted Helios boost, he decided on the spot to collect nothing but burnt sienna items from then on out. While he knows most consider the color ugly, he sees it as underappreciated because no one wants to make the effort to make it work. He also enjoys standing out as different, even if he does get memed on for it, like I definitely did to him in my trader stereotype video I made last year. In response, he says, and I quote, "It just means you're more likely to be remembered, and there's no such thing as bad publicity." You might not know our next entry's name, but you've definitely seen his work. Since 2019, Cinderblock has been the man behind such classic mods as First Person Rocket League, FIFA Mode, Top Gun, and the Rainbow Car plugin. He's also been an integral part of some of Left's bigger projects like Heatseeker Tetherball and Among Us. His aimbot video with Sunless is actually one of the highest viewed Rocket League videos ever, and his netcode plugin has been revolutionary for both the modding and custom map community. Really, it's hard to say where both content and modding in this game would be without Cinderblock's impact. But that isn't his only achievement in this game. This self-taught coder has also managed to turn his hobby and love of Rocket League into a job with Psyonix. And the community has already seen the benefits of this, as he was one of the devs behind the recent free play editions that have finally given consoles some of the same perks that PCs have enjoyed for years. From modder and player to a professional developer. I think it would be hard to find a more impressive and rare player achievement than that. Our next story starts with a player just trying to keep track of a very specific Rocket League statistic, but it eventually blossomed into a community of Rocket League misfits that share the same explosive obsession. Toothbotto first posted his unofficial demolition leaderboard to Reddit in early 2018, and yes, that's me there at number 2. From there, he started to attract more like-minded players to his Boom Squad Discord, and as the years went by, the demos increased and the leaderboard grew. But through it all, Toothbotto remained at the top. It was clear that he would soon be the first to reach the 100,000 demolition milestone, and that ended up happening on October 21st, 2020. Today, the Boom Squad community Discord is still going strong. The demolition leaderboard has 4 players that have crossed the 100k threshold, and its 455 total members account for 7.7 million demolitions, which is over 270 days of their victims waiting to respawn. Besides the leaderboard, the Boom Squad is also a place to share clips, find teammates, and they even host their own demolition-focused Rocket League tournaments called Hell in a Cell. And it all started with a player who just wanted to see if there's anyone else out there that loved demolitions as much as he did. I would guess almost every player in this game would love the chance to be recognized for something. Perhaps have a mechanic named after you, a special title to recognize an achievement, or maybe you've been making content since 2016 and just want to finally get your flag into the game. For this final section, I wanted to give you all the opportunity to feel special, and honestly, it's not even that hard. All you need to do is equip the Merc or Grog and score 10 goals against pro-level bots, and then you will join the short list of those that have completed the rarest achievement in Rocket League. Spectacular. Yes, this simple accomplishment has been done by just 3.1% of Steam players, 0.7% of PlayStation players, and 0.1% of Epic players. For those of you on Xbox, you can be in the 1.5 percentile by completing the Survival of the Fittest achievement. And Switch players, well, you know what? I think you guys are already special enough as it is. Alright, I hope you guys enjoyed this list of weird and unique player achievements. Please make sure to like, subscribe, and help out the channel by downloading Top 11 using my link in the description below. My name is Rocket Sledge. See you next time.